What's up, Jet fans? I watched Week 7 Panthers at Jets. This video is a little late, so I apologize for that, but I was actually there. Um, I know I went and saw an 0-6 Jets team, but it was fun. I love football, and I love the Jets, so I'm definitely never going to complain. The stadium was half empty though, so I think not everyone shares those opinions with me. But anyways, that's why the video's a little late. But let's jump into it. The final score was 6-13. I suppose a one-score loss. Our record is now 0-7. I predicted the Jets to win this game, so I thought we were going to be 2-5 at this point, and so this is an incorrect prediction, my second of the season. The big stories going into this game where the Panthers were kind of on a hot streak. They beat the Cowboys, which I think is a good team, and the Cowboys beat us. They beat the Dolphins, which most people don't think is a good team, but the Dolphins beat us. And now the Panthers beat us, so they that hot streak continues. And for us, we were coming off that terrible Broncos game where people were saying bench Justin Fields, bench Justin Fields. And well, he did get benched in the second half of this game. So we got to see what Tyrod Taylor could do, and it wasn't great, I suppose. Jumping into the offense, Justin Fields really couldn't do anything in the first half. And so they benched him / he got injured. He did take a really bad shot to the head from the Panthers, and so he was injured. Tyrod Taylor started the second half, and he kind of threw 2 interceptions to kill the game, right? It was only a one-score game. It didn't feel like that. It felt like the Panthers were in control for most of this game, but all you need is one wacky play to get an upset win. But Tyrod Taylor threw an interception. It basically killed the game and ended the game. But then the Jets got the ball back, and then he threw another interception, actually ending the game. So that's not great. Of course, Garrett Wilson was out, so there wasn't a whole lot of people to throw to. Right, like who are these people if you look at the receivers? And then the rushers, I'm kind of shocked we didn't run the ball more if you're looking at the attempts. Breece Hall with only 11 attempts is kind of bad, but he also only had 38 yards, so that's not great. I understand that. Justin Fields 22 yards, but he was getting sacked a lot. And then that's all we really did. So I am just kind of surprised we didn't run the ball as much. But also when you're down, it's a lot harder to run the ball. And the Panthers supposedly have a pretty solid defensive line. So just a really bad showing from the offense if you can't tell by the score. Defense, this is now a pattern, so that's good. We've held 2 teams in a row to 13 points. Of course, the offense couldn't then outscore them, so we're still 0-7, but the defense had another good showing. You're not going to blame these 2 losses on the defense at all, but I'm also not going to say that the Jets defense is back, right? From like last year's highs and stuff. I don't think that's the case, not yet anyways. It's trending in that direction, but the London game against the Broncos, if you watch that game, it really seems like the Broncos were just completely offensively inept for most of the game. And then the Panthers, all right, you held Bryce Young and Andy Dalton to 13 points. That's not a top 5 defense in my opinion. If we can start doing this on a consistent basis against better teams, then I think, okay, wait, actually, maybe this defense is really good, but I'm not going to ring the alarm bells that we're holding the Broncos in a rarely fluky game, right? The Broncos are a good offense, but that was a very fluky game, and then we're holding the Panthers to just 13 points. It's obviously better than the alternative, but it's not anything to write home about quite yet, but it is, like I said, definitely trending in the right direction. Let's make this a pattern, and then hopefully our offense can figure itself out, maybe with Tyrod Taylor starting again. Right, like people are saying, right, he did throw 2 interceptions. Does that mean you should not be started again? I think Justin Fields, say it's an injury, so you can, just sit him on the bench for a little bit. Give Tyrod Taylor a full game and see what this team can do. That would be my suggestion. But Tyrod Taylor didn't make that decision easy by throwing 2 interceptions. right? I'm trying to make this video quick because I'm late with it, but look at the rest of the season. We are now 0-7, and you got to tell me who's better than the Dolphins and the Panthers, right? On paper, if we can't beat those two teams, and I know the Panthers their record is good now, I would still question them a little bit. They beat the Dolphins and us, so that's not saying a whole lot. But who here is better? Who here is worse rather than the Dolphins? Um, I don't really know, and I don't think that there is a team. Maybe the Saints. We get to play the Dolphins again. Maybe the Browns. I don't know. Uh, and so it's looking pretty scarily close to an 0-17 season. I don't want us to go 0-17. I don't think we will go 0-17. Just the way the NFL works, there's always a weird fluky game, right? When we were trying to get Trevor Lawrence, for example, we won some fluky games. So there's always going to be a weird fluky game. Maybe we'll beat the Bills, right? Division rivalries always get weird. And maybe they're going to sit their starters that final game. But we're getting close to 0-17. And all things equal, I don't think anyone else is worse than the Dolphins. And we can't beat them. So we probably should be 0-17. But hopefully we don't go 0-17. But I'll keep on watching and seeing. Yeah, I don't know. This is a very brutal season, and not an electrifying game if you can't tell by the score. But you guys let me know down in the comments what you think. How sure are we that we're gonna go 0-17? I don't know. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.